Second Cup is brought to you by Roswell Park Comprehensive Care Center.
Hi, everyone. Good morning to you. It is 8 o'clock on the start of your Monday. Glad you're with us. Taylor is off, so we brought in our 5 a.m. producer, Jordan Broking, to be with us for today's show. Glad you're with us.
Thank you.
Our cute little Jordana is here with us. Jordan, we have like different little nicknames for her.
A lot of nicknames.
We call her Jordana. We call her the General. With a great low rate you could save on time, go to the, whatever it is, go to the General and save some time, because she talks like that sometimes. And then we call her by her full name, Jordan Patricia. There's just a lot. There's a lot. And glad that you're here and that you come back every single day, Jordan.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate it.
We love Jordan. And you will too, exactly. You'll see her personality come out here. That's for sure. Good morning, Jason. Glad you're with us. Okay, Jordan. Oh, hi, Alana. I love you so much. Hope you have a great day at school, sweetheart. Okay, did you have a good weekend?
I had a great weekend. How about yours? Yours was very busy, as you were telling me.
It was very busy. So we started at the Juneteenth festival. Let me tell you about my Saturday.
Yes.
Busy as can be. So we started at the gym at 8:30 in the morning. Mm-hmm. Early morning workout. Early bird gets the worm, right? So we went from the gym to the Juneteenth festival. In between there was a very, very quick shower. But by the time I got to the Juneteenth festival, I was sweating even more than I was at the gym.
Oof.
It was warm.
How long were you there for?
We were there until about 12 o'clock. So we marched in the festival. We marched in the parade. A lot of great people to see. A lot of great people there. And from there, I had to go home, rush home, because my parents are meeting me at home to go to the Allentown Art Festival.
I love the art festival.
Then we were at the Allentown Art Festival, and then we had a party in the afternoon. So it was a full day of things. What'd you do this weekend? Anything good?
Allentown Art Festival. That's what I spent my Saturday doing.
Okay, what'd you buy? Anything good?
A lot of stuff, but definitely spent a whole lot of money.
Like what? Anything good? Yeah,
they had a cute stand. I've seen like similar stuff on TikTok before, where they take band tees, just because, for full disclosure, big 80s nerd here. So they take band tees and they cut off the sleeves and everything. They cut off the seams on the side, and they sew on these like loose fabric pieces, like kind of like upcycling essentially.
Okay.
And so instead of being a t-shirt, it's like a kimono style top and everything.
Oh, that's kind of interesting.
So very almost like Stevie Nicks, as I like to call it.
Oh, yes.
So the shop, they had 2 Pat Benatar tops, which I love. Everyone knows here that I love Pat Benatar. So I bought those 2 tops. Those are a pretty penny.
How much were they?
$78 without tax. Each.
Jordan!
They were good, though. They were good quality. If they weren't good quality, I wouldn't have bought them.
Okay, money bags over here.
That's what a credit card is for.
Yeah, right. Girl, tell me. Keep going.
Did that. Then I bought, there was this photography booth. I don't know if you saw it. They kind of had a bunch of photos from like the UK, Ireland, like a bunch of these like scenic pieces and everything.
Okay.
Those are all cool. But there was this one place in, I think it was kind of Donegal. I think this the guy I took the picture of. There was this like huge famous ad for a famous, let's say, Irish beverage that
Guinness. Jordan loves a good Guinness.
I do. So there's a famous ad for it that's like kind of all over.
My goodness, my goodness.
There's a famous ad, yes. There's a famous ad for it where there's a toucan, whatever, on it, like standing on top of like a wind dial, and it has "Love a Day for a Guinness." So I got that.
Love a day for a Guinness.
Always. In my world, definitely.
So funny.
So I got that, and then I ended up buying, not from the art festival, but from I think it's called Timeless Babes, like this vintage shop on Allen next to the dress shop. I don't know if you know where it is.
Yeah.
So inside it's like this vintage shop, has a bunch of 80s and the horror stuff, again right up my alley. So they had these like little coasters for like about $10, and they had a bunch of different like varieties of them and everything. Neat. So I got one that's like a Beetlejuice design, because I love Beetlejuice, and then I got one that's like kind of like a famous-ish iconic scene from the old like Bride of Frankenstein movie from like the 1930s, whatever. Just because I work Universal, I'm a big Universal
Yeah.
Monsters person, so.
Well, you can't talk about Universal
I
here.
can't talk about
You can
it.
talk about Disney here. Anyway, it was a beautiful day for a good festival. The Juneteenth festival was Saturday and Sunday, but Juneteenth is actually the 19th. So there's a bunch of events happening this week as well. Aunt Sue is with us. Good morning to you. Peter says there's a photographer I noticed was down there who was great. Tom Burns Photography.
I think that might have been it, actually. That might have been Tom Burns.
A very, very talented photographer. But I did want to show you the forecast here. Josh is actually tracking that 7 weather forecast for us throughout the day today. Take a look at this weekend.
So nice.
Finally, we are pushing 80s here throughout the week. But once we get into Saturday and Sunday, we are going to finally see temperatures past 80, which is nice considering where we've been all spring.
I need this trend in 2 weeks for 2 weeks from, or 3 weeks technically from Saturday.
Why?
So
what are you doing?
Saturday, July 5th, I got an outdoor concert over at Art Park.
Oh, you need clear skies.
Clear or
no doubt.
cloudy, 1 and 2.
Well, okay. Another event is your birthday. That's right.
Woo!
Andrea turned 40. So, except she was not included on the June birthday list. Alana was cracking up. Alana decorated for Father's Day yesterday. And we also celebrated some birthdays. And so it said June birthdays, and it was hers and my nephew Vincenzo's, but we forgot Mom. But that was cute. Yeah, she's cracking up. Hope you had a wonderful Father's Day. Connie, I saw your comment here looking about when Katie was coming back. She's coming back next Monday. So you're a week early, Connie. Stay tuned, though. She'll be back. Taylor, this is Taylor's last week with us. She'll be here Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. She's off today. Tomorrow, she's on assignment because, as you know, we are hosting a debate here a week before the primary in the city of Buffalo. And what this means is that you will have the opportunity to listen and even at some points take questions to the candidates. That's going to be broadcast tomorrow night here on 7 ABC and, of course, on our streaming platforms at 7 p.m. But Taylor is going to be one of the panelists. So she'll be there taking all those questions to the candidates. There are 5 of them. Ready to name them all?
Yes.
Okay. Chris Scanlon,
Sean Ryan, Garnell Whitfield, Rashid Wyatt, and Anthony Tyson Thompson.
Good job, Georgiana.
It's like I do this for a living.
I know. Wow, look at you, producer extraordinaire. So Taylor's going to join us Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm actually going to be on assignment also those days, so I won't be here. But yes, just in time for Connie's return.
Hat on.
Yes, exactly. Just in time for Connie to come back to Buffalo. Katie will be back as well.
Love
it. Do we have Howard? Dear Howard.
Oh.
Howard. Do we have video here?
Of what?
Like all the videos that we're supposed to have?
Yes, we do have it.
Okay.
So what do you want to talk about?
Let's talk about the lightning towing story, because I think this is really interesting. So if you are a driver in the city of Buffalo, you'll notice sometimes parking is a little difficult to find on the street, right? And one of the things that, Howard, you're cracking me up. This is not fair. You're making me laugh. And if we have no kings, only queens, then I want to be there. Anyway, there's this company called Lightning Towing, and we told you about them in 2019. It's this private tow company that is booting and ticketing cars at certain places around the city of Buffalo. And one of those places was a gas station. This is the boot that they're putting on the car in some cases. That was 6 years ago. But history kind of repeating itself all of a sudden. And this one guy that we spoke with said that he's having a problem with lightning towing. He's at the Sunoco on Hodge and Elmwood, right at the corner. You know it. You pass by it all the time. It's right on the corner there. And what he said was that this parking lot was for patrons only. he was a patron of the gas station, walked in to get something, and then walked out to find his car was booted, and he had like a $90 ticket. And he was pissed. He was not happy about this because he said, like, at the end of the day, you could either pay $100 to have the boot removed or pay $400 to have the car towed. He's like, so they've got you.
Money grab.
Right. And so he's really upset about this and wanted to make sure that he could bring this to your attention. Shonda, good morning to you. Signs near Pearl Street are a joke. They don't even have the times of when you can't park there. And then, you know, a couple of months ago, we were telling you about how the owner of Fatty Beer was also complaining about aggressive ticketing from the police down in that area because he says that it was, you know, kind of affecting his business because people were parking in that area. And why would people want to come downtown if they're aggressively ticketing? Mary just wondering, what's up with that? Mark says it's just like downtown private lots that they were booting cars, right? I remember those stories. Barb said that she read it's happening often at 7-Eleven in the Elmwood Village as well. I've heard about that on Elmwood. I'm not really sure what the cross street is, but I know exactly what it's right by, like Penzi's Spice.
I don't know what it is.
That's 7-Eleven.
Somewhere Bryant, I think.
Maybe a little further north.
Maybe one after Bryant.
Howard says, yeah, but he was shopping across the street, so we all know what he was doing. Parked there, bought a cheap pop or something, then did other shopping. While still parked there, they obviously had signs posted. They do have signs posted, you know, but what is there a threshold? Is there a dollar amount you have to spend? Or do you buy gas and then, you know, you just park there? Or do you go inside the station, the gas station? What is it? Well, needless to say, Lightning Towing had no comment here, nothing to say.
Hung up right on a reporter.
Yeah. Jason says, I seldom drive to the city. I use public transportation. Marguerite says, Buffalo's infamous for fines. Corrine says, I saw 2 cars being booted by the art festival on Saturday. Well, that's frustrating.
Yeah. It's like parking there is always just a nightmare to begin with.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of crummy.
Yeah.
Shonda says, just get your poop together, Buffalo. Well, and it's not necessarily like a
City's
Buffalo
fault.
thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's a private company and they are now having to, Buffalo is really going to have to figure out how to deal with this situation. So once they get a hold of this, I'm sure it's going to be like, you know, what are you doing? Do you actually have a license? And where do we go from here?
Exactly. I think this stuff has to be followed up probably.
That was the concern in 2019 too. So kind of interesting story. Linda says, I will not drive in the city. Give me country living. You know, that's not the first time I've heard that. Russ's mom says the same thing. She hates driving in the city.
I think it really depends on where you are too. I know some people who even, I mean, you and I, you're from Long Island, I'm from New Jersey.
Right.
New York City was right there. You know, I know people who want to drive into the city and everything like that. I know people who would be like, I'll take Transit, I'll take, you know,
the Long Island Railroad or the subway.
Just because of, I think just the anxiety of like driving around the city and also again just the whole parking.
Yeah.
As well.
I absolutely hate driving in the city though. I do not like it. I don't like the traffic. I don't like the stop and go. I like open highway.
I do. Also, something else I've noticed here, I don't know if you've noticed here since you've been here for the last, 13 years, 10 years?
I've been here. I've been at Channel 7 11 in October, and I will be in Buffalo. That means 14 in October.
Well, there you go. Well, no, I was going to say, I've noticed even like drivers, let's say, you know, they're approaching a light, it's green, and then they could be like feet away from the yellow light. And then instead of, you know, probably doing from what downstate people used to do, just probably trying to beat the yellow light.
Gun it.
Yeah, gun it. They like slow down and they stop, even if like the yellow light's still on. I'm like, what are you doing?
Martha, hey Martha, good morning. Contact the city parking department for deeper details. That's what I had suggested as well. Driving in Buffalo is nothing compared to larger cities like Tampa. That's what she's saying. I agree, 100%. Tampa has a lot of highway. Kelly says, literally hate driving the city. People don't follow any sort of rules. Peter says, I get anxiety driving on Main Street along the metro rail.
I have like anxiety just driving, period. That's why I haven't even like bothered to get my license, to be honest with you.
Okay, can we talk about that?
Go for it.
Okay,
I
so
figured it's gonna come up.
Jordan doesn't drive.
Nope.
Jordan takes an Uber or the bus.
Any
or...
sort of like public transit, I'll take.
Can we talk about that?
Go for it.
So you have anxiety driving. What is that like? What kind of anxiety?
Like,
Let's dig in here. Sit on my couch.
Something that, I think, because I took drivers in high school and everything like that. But something that I think I was taught, obviously, is, being aware of like defensive driving. And defensive driving is like more so just. So to me, I just have like such anxiety because I feel like I would just want to focus on myself alone, make sure that I'm, doing everything I can, not having to worry about, someone possibly rear-ending me or someone, possibly, sideswiping, going through a stop sign, everything like that. So I have like such crazy anxiety. Also, I will admit this, Jersey does have some pretty crazy drivers. So I think that kind of also summed up my little anxiety.
I think Jersey has a lot of crazy things, but that's besides the point.
Same thing with Long Island. That's a fact right there. But so yeah, I think that's kind of like where my little anxiety is. So I tried like driving, like my father taught me how to drive like when I was younger, but even with that, I'm like,
you just don't like it.
I just don't like it whatsoever.
So are you ever going to drive, do you think?
I don't think so. Like I really don't have like even like any interest right now, to be honest with you. Like,
really?
Even driving around, like I know so many places are so spread out here. Like going back to, in a few weeks when I go to Lewiston.
For Art Park.
I'll just probably take an Uber to that like I do other places as well. And so maybe like if it's like long distances, I wouldn't mind, possibly driving. But even that though, like sort of just the anxiety of like everything around you. I enjoy road trips. Like I'll be a passenger princess any day.
Me too.
But that's kind of my thing.
So when was the last time you actually drove?
I was a teenager.
Wow.
So
would you be able to drive right now? Do you have a license?
No, I don't have a license.
You don't have a license?
I don't have a license. I was going to get my license. I had driver's ed in high school when I was a sophomore. And that kind of took a written test to get my permit, got my permit. Then my father taught me how to drive at our grandparents' home in Pennsylvania, where it's like less crowded and everything like that. And then after that, I just never had interest to go actually get the license right there and then. So a few years after that, I go to college, I don't have my license, and then the pandemic hits.
Oh.
And then
you're not going anywhere.
And not going anywhere. But then at that point, I thought, okay, I'm home. Maybe I'll try to get my license here. Because I think there was still, at one point, the Jersey DMV was still doing them somewhat, even during the pandemic. But then Jersey passed a law. I can't remember what the law was itself, but where this wave of people basically would like come in line to get like their licenses. So at that point, I was like, okay, I'm not getting my license at this point. Went back to college on campus and then just like never had really the time or drive to get it.
Interesting. Well, okay, so here's Martha's question. What do you have for real ID?
I have a state ID. I have an enhanced ID.
Okay, so it's just an enhanced state ID.
Yes, exactly.
Interesting. I agree, Barbara. This would be a great comparison story. The cost of owning and driving versus Jordan's way of life.
That would be fun.
How expensive is it for you?
I use Uber so much, so I only take it also Uber like one way work. Like when I'm coming home after this, I'll take a bus. But Uber typically like $7, maybe even less. Sometimes.
What's your monthly bill for Uber?
I'd have to look probably if I could do the.
Give us an estimate. Is it like $300, $400?
Oh, I don't think it's anywhere there.
Okay.
200 probably, maybe a little less.
Okay, that's not bad. What about like to go to Wegmans or Tops?
I don't actually go in a store. I have Walmart Plus, so I get the groceries delivered to me.
And they have that in the city of Buffalo now?
Mm-hmm. I get the Walmart. I use, I think, the super center over in, I think, Amherst.
Okay, yeah.
And then, if you like how much I pay on groceries is their quota for like free delivery. So I just do that.
So are you like a bargain hunter?
I do like shopping for bargains, especially when it comes to everything.
Jordan, Patricia, Megan, I'm 62 and have never had a license.
My grandaunt also doesn't have a license whatsoever. She like had the same exact thing as me, anxiety, and just never had the drive to like really get it. No pun intended. But
wow. Okay. Driving a taxi, work with the police, always on the road, living from an automobile. Yep. Wow. Who knew Jordan?
I definitely have said it before.
I love driving, but I am not allowed to drive sometimes. Russ is typically the driver in our family. He doesn't like me driving. So I'm usually the passenger princess in our family.
I think my parents kind of split. It really depends on where they go. I think most of the time they'd argue, or my father would argue that my mom likes to be the passenger princess.
Ah, yes. My mom says generational differences. She's shocked.
I know a lot of people, like actually my best friends from home, a few of them don't even have licenses yet.
Wow.
Just for similar reasons or, just timing and everything. I think I only have, out of my like close-knit group of friends that are from Jersey, I think only 2 or 3 have their licenses. And then there's like 3 or 4 of us that don't.
Oh my gosh. So do they drive you around?
The 2 that do have licenses, like if we're meeting up somewhere, like they'll offer to drive.
Wow.
But then if not, then I'll, either carpool with one of my other friends who doesn't have a license, who like, let's say her parents like will drive her places, whatever. Same thing with my parents when I was home in Jersey. So.
Well, right. Your parents don't even live there anymore.
No.
So what do you do? Do you even go home to Jersey?
I do. So when I go home in Jersey, I just stay at my aunt's and my grandparents' house.
Interesting.
And then they kind of been driving around because I grew up. My aunts are like very close in age to me, so I like have like them at my disposal.
That's great. Shannon, Martha, we drive like 10 miles a week now in retirement. See, that's so nice. I want your life, Marth. Me too, Diane. Oh my God. I don't know what I would do. I mean, I'd walk, but like, how far are you going to walk?
I walk long distances.
Is that how you stay so skinny?
Maybe. Like, if it's a nice day, like I haven't done it this year yet, but like last year, like during the summer, if it was really nice out, nice and cool, I'd walk like back home to like my apartment from here. Because you know where I live and everything.
Yes.
So.
I mean, let me tell you, I did anything I could to get a car. When I was in high school, opposite. I worked 3 jobs. I was saving up. I'm like, I'll pay for gas. You pay for insurance. I bought my car. I mean, I was so excited to get behind the wheel of a car. Then I totaled it. It was senior cut day. And
you told me a story before.
Yeah. So it was senior cut day, 2005. We're all at the beach and, I left the beach. We weren't drinking or anything. Like I would never do that ever. But I'm reading Peter's comment here. Talk to us why I wrote. Okay, so this is it. So I had to pick up my sister and take her. She was riding horses at the time, so I had to take her to the barn. And so I drove her and got caught on like the lip of the road. I was going a little too fast. She screamed. I got concerned, overcorrected, and wound up on the other side of a 2-lane highway and hit a tree. And thank God I was like inches away from that tree, an inch further north, I guess, of that tree, because had we been closer to the tree, my sister probably would have been killed. It was that bad of a crash.
This was the one that's in the summer, right?
It was June 2005.
Okay. I remember I think you told me it last time we did the, was it the 100 Deadliest Days story?
Yeah.
I think that's when you told me the story.
Yeah, so I was one of those statistics, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy. Senior cut day, not senior crash day. I know. Soon enough, Martha says, we ride bikes too, considering a golf cart also. Oh my God, that's so cute in retirement. That is adorable, Marth. I can only see Dan, her husband, who is a former police officer. Great guy. We love Officer Megan. Great guy. Dan riding in a golf cart. Wouldn't that be so funny? Dan and Marth together. That's so cute. Jason says, my grandmother on my dad's never had a license too. Growing up in Buffalo, we took public transportation and depended on other family members.
That's how I grew up.
My mom getting that phone call at work was fabulous, she says. Mom, don't be mad, but we crashed. Yes. Diane, poor Dana, she doesn't drive with you now. No, she does. Dana is a real passenger princess. Dana never drives. Okay, so Dana's a really good backseat driver, but she never actually drives. That's Dana in a nutshell. It is crazy, Alana. I know. It was one of those things where you're just like, okay, a wake-up call. Now, from there, I totaled 2 more cars. But that's not to say.
That explains why Russ doesn't want you driving.
Thank you. Exactly. But I am very careful. Like I feel like I just took a defensive driver's class. So you talk about being defensive. I feel like this is one of those things that you just needed like that aha moment. And the last one that I told was just 2 years ago. And I think I've told this story before. It was on my way to work. I was like in another world. I was literally thinking about so many other things but being on the road. And it was right after the top shooter was sentenced. So I had like a million things on my mind. It's 3:30 in the morning and I'm driving to work like, okay, this is a different world. Like I was in another headspace. And then boom, out of nowhere, a T-bone crash. And I'm on the other side of the road. And I was like, wow, this is insane. So
Yeah, that's my
all
worst
these years
nightmare.
later, I know, all these years later, 3 years later, here we are. Alive and well, thank God. Knock on wood.
Amen to that.
But here to tell the story. Important for people to hear, you know, what I did wrong and what you should do right.
Alana, you never told me that.
Yep. My girlie. Alana, yesterday we were talking about skincare. We were swimming in the pool. And at one point she was sitting by herself and I'm like, what is going on with you? I'm like, you are never alone. Like, are you okay? She had a stomach ache. Yeah. Julie says, I've crashed 1 or 2, maybe more cars in my days. Yep, girl, I understand. You know, Juneteenth was this weekend. I told you about the parade. Do we have those videos by any chance, Jordan?
I believe we do.
Because I wanted to show you a couple of the festivities that we had. It was super fun. There are so many people out lining the streets. Oh, we should let you know, we have to pause for Josh in just a sec. Yeah. So many people lining the streets.
Let me actually do this instead.
And it was just nice to see everyone say hello. I saw my man Dean, who do you remember Dean? I spoke with him in the Buffalo Strong conversation. He was one of those Tesla workers that I spoke to in the days after the shooting. And you know, just one of those like moments where you're just so grateful to be part of this community. And it was nice to see him, give him a hug, talk to his wife. You just love being part of Buffalo in those moments.
Let's see here.
Oh, here's the videos. Okay.
It's a little blurry, but.
All right. Well, whatever. It is what it is. So here we are saying hello to everyone, handing out 716 stickers. You'll see my man Dave Holloway pop up here in just a second. He is actually up there he is, Dave Holloway, right there in the white hat. What a guy, that Dave Holloway. And his girlfriend, super great people. Let's pause for Josh.
Popped up there. Hearing you talk.
Up. Surprise. So there you have it.
Woo.
Summer is here. Did we eventually hear Josh?
I think so.
Okay, good. Josh isn't hiding, everyone said. Marth wants a couple of 716 stickers. Yeah, I could do that for you, Marth. Anybody else want 716 stickers? Let me know. Send me a message. Happy to send them to you. It's they're very cool. And why wouldn't you want to represent 716 wherever else? Couldn't hear him. Okay, sorry about that. Well,
thought we did. I heard him over here. So
okay, good. Anyway, we got to get the show on the road here. Hope you have a great start to the week, and we'll see you right back here tomorrow.
See ya.
Enjoy.
Bye.